Right, welcome back to Chop's Garage, the real life car trading channel, and today we're trying something new. We are trying a new MOT centre. Now that might sound like not big news, but obviously if you watch the channel regularly now, I use the same place all the time. I have tried some other places and come back with some really strange results. See previous video on the MR2. It's been a bit quiet recently and I needed to get a lot of cars ready quickly because my mindset is that when the market is quiet, you use it to catch up on all your prep and get as many cars as you can 100% ready, so when they sell they can go straight out the door, rather than selling the cars and then them having to go down and have work done and then people picking them up later on. Don't know why it's been quiet. A lot of other people have said it's been quiet as well. I've noticed that on Auto Trader prices are dropping on cars, which means some people have got their cars on what's called stocking loans, where they pay interest on them if they don't pay their money back to their lender after, I think it's 90 days or something like that. They will be wanting to get out of some of the cars and put the money back in the bank again, so they'll be dropping prices. But in my mind, if people aren't buying cars, people aren't buying cars, and no amount of dropping the price is going to make any real difference to that. You're just going to end up with no margin to help the customer out if there's any problem. So like I say, my mindset is instead get more stock ready. So I've been buying, and there's a few new cars kicking around which I don't think you've seen before. We've got the 2011 Cougar, we've got the 2015 Mitsubishi ASX with 49,000 miles on it. I think that is 80,000 miles. We've got the Sportage that we bought at auction, which has got something like, I can't remember, that's got 60 or 70 on it. That needs to get an MOT, so that needs an MOT, that needs an MOT, that needs an MOT. The Mazda 2 needs an MOT that we got at auction as well. That needs to go in for an MOT. The Golf came with a really long MOT, so that's not having one. But we've recently picked up this i20 with a 1.4 in it from a subscriber, or from his subscriber's son. Fantastic little car. It was driven 2 hours to me, drove brilliantly. No issues at all. I drove the guy back to the train station who drove it to me, and had no problems with it at all. Really nice spec. It's a 6-speed gearbox, let's say, with a 1.4 petrol. It's got cruise control, Bluetooth, lane assist, really nice condition. Came in with some really strange dotted paint all over it. I think someone had tried to touch it in. I believe it's a one-owner car, or it was pre-registered and then they bought it, but it says one owner on Auto Trader. But yeah, it had paint touching all over, which made me think there was some bad paint on it. But when I got the thinners on and took that paint off, because it wasn't a very good colour match, the chips underneath were so tiny they weren't even worth touching in, to be honest. They'd made it look a lot worse than it was. So the only thing it does need is the alloys refurbing, because the lacquer's peeled on them, so I've got to get around to doing that. So that's another purchase. I won't be going down for an MOT today. And then this Ford Focus 1 litre EcoBoost, which is a full main dealer service history, and it's a 66 plate. And on the basis of that, if you've seen the Car UK video about Ford admitting liability with issues on EcoBoost, means that it is covered under the new extended warranty, 10 years or 130,000 miles. As I say, it's got full main dealer service history. It's only done 50,000 miles, something like that, I think, and it's under 10 years for the belt. So game on. That's a safe car to sell. And to be honest, I've always quite liked the drive of the 1 litre EcoBoost. It's always just been the fear that there might be a problem with the belt on it. So that one's in. That one won't be going down for MOT because that needs a good valet and a clean, so that when it is MOT'd, it's ready for sale. So back to what I was saying about getting MOTs done. We're taking him to a new place. We're taking him to a MOT station that only does MOTs. That's all it does. Now, just to cover, the reason I wouldn't take them down to Moors at the moment is because they've got about 4 or 5 of my cars already down there. So if I drop them off now, these will be waiting in the queue and it won't speed things up at all. That's why I need to use another place. But I was recommended this place in South Molton that only does MOTs. That's the only thing it does. So it does no work on cars. And they reckon they could rattle through quite a few for me quite quickly. And if I drop one down, they'd drive it up and swap them out for me, which is brilliant as well. Massively appreciate it. So we're going to take the Cougar down, the Mazda, the ASX and the Sportage, and a Ford KA I've got as well. I've got a little Ford KA, which I'll show you a bit later on. We're going to drop them all down for MOT and see how we get on. Now, the issue we've been getting lately is a lot of advisories on even really clean cars. We've been getting a lot of advisories, things for like surface corrosion on components, bits and bobs like that, and you do wonder sometimes if the opinion of the MOT test you've got, whether that's the same opinion as other MOT testers or not? Well, we're gonna find out today, because a lot of you told me in the comments, you said, James, you need to try a few different MOT stations out. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's see how we get on. And check out this little beaut, a 2015, well, mid 2015 Ford KA 1.2 petrol with 49,000 miles on it, I think it is. Full Ford main dealer service history, including a cam belt in 2020. It's in it's in fantastic condition. Fantastic. I took it straight down for an MOT. Past MOT, only advisory on it was fraying on the edge of the seatbelt, and I don't know about you putting in the comments, but I don't believe it's worth doing, really. Where is it? Driver's seatbelt, just there. Don't really think that's worth doing, to be honest. Obviously, if it was a safety issue, it would have failed MOT, so I view it more as a cosmetic. But yes, as I say, fully stamped up, full Ford main dealer service history with the cam belt in it. I think Auto Trader puts this at over 4.5. I think I've got it up for 495, something like that, I think. So yeah, nice easy one to prep, this one. Bodywork wise, there's only one thing, is a little ding up there, which I'm not going to touch because it's silver, and silver always ends up standing out like a sore thumb. So we'll get this listed up for sale. So Cougar has a pass, another pass. The Cougar passed with some advisories. Advisory was the battery light was on the dashboard, which I know about. That needs the alternator doing. I figured that anyway. I've got that on the way. And then it was advisories for the rear pads on the back and for a lower arm, which he said he marked for me as well, having a little bit of play in it. Now bear in mind it is a pass still, but we like to get all the advisory bits done. And I think it's the lower arm just there. He's marked in yellow for me. Said that had a bit of play in it. So we've got one of those on order. Well, I've got a pair of those on order. I'm going to do both sides at the same time. So both lower arms, the rear pads, and we'll get the alternator on. I don't think I'll put it back through MOT. What I think I'll do is keep the receipts for the work, and then in my listing note that the advisory has been done and that there's invoices to prove it. So on to the next one. I think we're going to drop the ASX off next. ASX, straight pass, get in, no advisories. He said it was a super clean little car, didn't have any problems with it at all. There is literally nothing that he requires me to do on it or recommended for me to do. So I mean, it is at the end of the day 2015, and 2015 and 49,000 miles or whatever it is. So the expectation was that it might not need much, but these can be prone to a bit of surface corrosion underneath, because again, from Mitsubishi, Suzuki, Nissan, they all tend to not put a lot of undercoating on the car, so you get advisories quite a lot for surface corrosion. But no, straight through. This is really getting me ahead. Right, first fail, the Sportage has been down, and it failed on a tyre. I think it was, yeah, one tyre, and advisories on the other tyres as well. Now, what the MOT testers did was recommend round the corner, the tyre place, North Devon Tyre. I haven't been there before. I nipped down to those guys and said, look, have you got some tyres for this? Which they did have. I explained I was trade. They did me a deal, and we now have a full set of tyres on. I was able to drive the car straight back and get a fresh ticket. So it actually has a pass, and that pass is now advisory free. So yeah, we got fresh rubber all the way around, which ideally on four-wheel drive you want to do anyway. So fresh rubber all the way around, no advisories on the MOT. Again, he didn't tell me he was concerned about anything else that I might need to do on the car, because he's been keeping an eye out for me to let me know if anything else would be required. But that's another one done and dusted. How brilliant is that? That's it, guys, another pass. The Mazda's gone straight through. It's MOT, no problem at all, no advisories on it. I mean, I think probably one of the reasons it did go straight through is before I sent it down there, I did get underneath and wire brush the rear axle and subframe down and give it a converter and then a bit of paint, because it was just looking a little bit crusty. None of it was sort of rusted through, it was just surface rust. And taking the time to do that, I think probably made me avoid an advisory on that, because as we all know, Mazda 2's fantastic driving cars, fantastically reliable, but Mazda never put a lot in the way of undercoating underneath them, and none of the powder coating was that thick, so they can get crusty underneath if you don't treat them. So that has been a resounding success, trying a new MOT place. You all told me in the comments to try some new MOT places. Now, we've got to be fair to the other MOT places. The stuff I've highlighted in some of the videos was like 2005, 2008, 2010 cars, and the ones I've taken down here has been 2015, 2016, 2016. So all the cars have been that bit newer. So I don't think we can say categorically that this MOT place is less picky than the others. I don't know. But they do have more of a reason to be picky if you think about it, because as they only do MOTs, if they did have any problem with their license, that's their revenue gone completely. A garage that has an MOT testing centre and repair business, if it lost its MOT testing, it could still carry on doing repairs and it'll still have a customer base. This place, if it loses its license for MOTs, that's it, game over. So I imagine they're probably even more protective of their MOT, is it a license, I don't know what you want to call it, than probably anybody else would be. So yeah, comment down below, do any of you use just MOT centres, places that just do MOTs, and has your experience been the same as mine? I'd be interested to hear. As always, massive thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Just a quick word on the fantastic Mercedes CL that we're currently raffling off, where a proportion of the proceeds are going to Ability FC, which is the football club in Barnstable for those with learning disabilities and special needs. We're supporting them. That has hit its minimum ticket sales, so just want to be really clear, that car will be won. The cash or the car will be won, so you don't have to worry about buying tickets and it not achieving its sales target and you being offered something less or whatever. That car is hit its minimums, that car will now be won, or you can have the cash alternative, and it is a fantastic car. Go back to the earlier videos, have a look over it. So it's had its brand new MOT, it is all set to go, and I am throwing in a year's road tax on this one as well, aren't I? I said as part of the deal. I will get a bit more video footage of the inside of it later on, but this is a proper modern classic in fantastic condition, and you will not be disappointed smoking around in this one. So it doesn't smoke, that's just a phrase we use in the industry for when you drive big old luxury cars. Remember, it's just £2 a ticket. The link is in the video description down below.